Hi guys, good to see you. Getting ready for my in-person final job interview. The other day when the book came out, I was talking about having a book or having a job interview, and it went really, really well. So I am very optimistic about today. Excited. I leave in about an hour. So, um, just sitting here thinking and realizing, looking at the book sales, that a lot of the books will be delivered today on Amazon. Um, the first ones to be delivered. And I'm sitting here thinking, my God, people are going to start reading my story and are going to, you know, see me. And that's something that is really difficult for survivors, is to be seen and to know that your story is there and it's out. So I'm going to tell you a story that I used to I used to tell, to see if people were safe, and it's in the book. Um, the trauma timeline took each trauma, and I put it chronologically so that it made sense, um, with one trauma leading to the next. Before doing that, it was just all these different traumas, rattling around in my head and not making sense, just trying to survive them, because I never processed them. There was never any talking about it. It was in a narcissistic family, you don't speak about the things that happen. If somebody's mad, a little bit of time goes by, and then everything's fine. Suddenly everything's fine. There's no there's no reconciling what occurred. There's no processing and talking through what occurred. It's sad. Um, so the story that I remember somebody important to me that, um, I used to work with, a good friend of mine. We co-taught my first year of teaching, and it was someone that I felt that I could trust. Um, but with being a survivor, you're very, very wary of trusting people. And I would tell this story to gauge their reaction. And based on their reaction, I would know whether or not I could continue to tell them things. And if not, they were safe. If they were not safe. So, um, when I was maybe 6 or 7 years old, um, we we were not allowed to get takeout very often, fast food very often. So it was a treat, and we got McDonald's. My sibling and I got McDonald's with the maternal figure, and she put down a towel on the floor in her bedroom. The maternal figure did, and told us to sit on it and told us not to get anything on the floor, and that we could watch TV in her room. So we were watching the never ending story and eating our, cheeseburgers or whatever. And, um, the maternal figure was sitting on her bed and we're watching the movie, and I actually started to relax, which was really difficult for me because I felt like I could. I felt like I was safe enough to relax until I heard her start giggling. She was sitting on the bed and she started giggling. Like, then it got worse. Then it was like maniacal laughing. And the sibling and I are sitting there going, oh my God. And I immediately like froze up, like, what? What now? So she goes, girls, did I ever tell you where mayonnaise comes from? We're like, no. She goes, well, let me tell you. And she proceeds to tell us a story. The story is sick, and I'm letting you guys know that ahead of time. This is sick. She says that there's this little old woman who sits in a room, and it's an empty room except for a long table, a chair, and all these like mason jars and labels. And that this little old lady, it's her job to fill up the mayonnaise jars. And the way that she does that is that she has really bad acne, and that she pops her pimples, and that's where the mayonnaise comes from, and so forth. It's disgusting. Mind you, I'm like 6 or 7. So the sibling would have been like 4 or 5. And we freaked out. We ran to the bathroom to throw up, and then we're being yelled at not to throw up, and we're going to get in trouble if we throw up. And it was awful. So I tell that story, and some people just laugh. Some people are like, that's freaking hilarious, right? Those are not the safe people. What my coworker did was kind of sat back for a second and was like, Darren, that's awful. That's horrible that she did that to you. And it was a moment of, oh my God, you are safe. And that friend has become somebody that I absolutely adore, that I can constantly talk to. She's been someone that was there through the whole book and was rooting me on, and I really, really appreciate it. So that's just one of the stories. There's a lot of stories like that, and that one is more on the humorous side, even though it's not funny. Like I said in the book, it would have been funny if the maternal figure, said that to her friends if she had any, because she could not keep friends to save her life. But you don't tell that to children. You don't do that. So sick. So that story, I tell the story, and then I start processing through it. And at the end of the each chapter, I talk about what I learned, and it's like a year later, me talking about what I learned. That's the book in a nutshell. That's narrative exposure therapy. That's what worked for me for this healing process. So anyway, that's the book. I'm gonna go ahead and end the video because I gotta get ready. But yeah, I was just sitting here thinking, my God, people are actually gonna start hearing these things. Do not be afraid to reach out. If you have questions about the book, if you have comments, please go ahead. You guys are going to see I'm an open book when it comes to this stuff. Let me know your stories. Let me know if you relate at all. Yeah. All right, guys. Everybody wish me luck on this final job interview. I'm so excited. I want this job so badly. Anyway, everybody take it easy. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.